What's up, superstars? Welcome to Train with Tash Tuesday. My name is Tash and I'm a Grand Prix dressage rider from Australia. And this is my old, awesome Grand Prix horse, Arbor. So I'd like to say a huge thanks to Ali, who said that I could use him, because everyone's been asking for what happened to Arbor and can we have more videos of Arbor? So we're going to do a couple of episodes on this gorgeous man. He's really thrilled and excited about it, as you can tell. So today we have a question. Who's the question from, Phil? Simone. Question from Simone saying, how do you get a horse on the bit? Simple, yeah? And I'm sure when I ask that question, how do you get a horse on the bit, every single one of you has an answer. Now the problem or the challenge becomes if that answer isn't correct. I always think riding is a little bit like cooking a cake. I can't cook very well, but if you have a good recipe, you should get a good outcome. So firstly, you've got to understand the science or the structure behind getting a horse on the bit. Because a lot of riders will say, when I ask them that, when I'm coaching them, they'll say, how do you get a horse on the bit? You half halt and you squeeze and you release. What the hell does that mean? That is like a universal, doesn't fit in a wheelbarrow. Like if I say the answer to the world peace is love, that's not a strategy, okay? A half halt, when I ask people what is a half halt, how do you do a half halt, I get so many different answers. So you can't just say, or I squeeze, or I let go. That doesn't mean anything. So you want to really, really break it down. So every single one of you, I want you to say, what is the first step when you ask a horse to go on the bit? What's the first thing you do? Now, everyone again will have a different answer. Some people say, I come with my leg. So, and specifically come with the leg, I will tighten my calf onto the horse's sides and squeeze the horse with about, 10 grams of pressure or with both legs on the horse's side to push the horse. That might be an answer. Some people might say, I squeeze my outside rein. But how much do you squeeze? Do you pull back? So what is a squeeze? So here's my rein and that's me squeezing. Is that what you mean? So you have to get really, really scientific and really, really clear on what it is. So my way of getting a horse on the bit or through or connected or over his back, these are all the same kind of things. It is the hardest thing to get a horse into the bit or connected in halt because you actually have no forward momentum. So I'm going to walk. Good boy. And I'm not going to tell him to do anything. And you can see he's going crooked, he's tripping, and his head's in the air, which is perfect. Okay, so the very next thing I'm going to do is apply my inside leg. And when I say I apply my inside leg, I'm going to squeeze with about 5 grams of pressure, closing my calf onto his leg, onto his side. And at the same time, I'm going to squeeze with my outside rein and just take back with my lower fingers. Now you can see he's slowing down. So I'm going to tap, tap. Yep, squeeze with my leg, keep the half halt pressure, keep the outside rein pressure, bend a little bit to the inside because I don't feel like he's wrapping around my inside leg. Good boy. And you can see he's starting to come on the bit, all round, while being crooked and everything else. Now this horse is a very backwards horse, so it's actually, shouldn't have used you, Arbor, good boy, a bit harder. But now you can see he's travelling forward in the walk, taking my outside rein, listening to the half halts, accepting the bend and travelling over the back and on the bit. Whenever he shortens his neck, whenever he shortens his back and stiffens his back and stiffens his neck, you can bet the forward momentum and the hind legs have stopped moving. So it's very, very important when you're asking the horse to go on a bit that you get forward, that you get the horse active from behind. That is the absolute very first step. Now, the minute you get that, if you just have the horse running, the horse will run away with its head in the air and you'll be going, oh dear, this isn't working. I always say that the difference between amazing top riders and riders that might not have figured it out yet is just our timing. I'm quicker than you, I do more things than you, therefore it looks a little bit easier. So I don't wait. Hang on, let me just do nothing. So I've done nothing. I don't wait until now and then go, oh shit, he's off the bit. Inside leg, outside rein, inside leg, outside rein, bend to the inside leg, outside rein, outside leg, got him back. Now, did you see how much work I had to do to get the horse back on the bit? That's just too much work, and it looks messy because it took me about 8 strides to get him back on the bit. So what I do now is anytime I feel him back off a millimetre, anytime I feel that he lifts his neck, come on, more forward. Anytime I feel anything that he does, I will then fix it. Outside rein, inside leg, inside bend, outside leg, whatever it is I need to do to keep the horse round. So don't wait. It's like I use that analogy when you're driving a car. You don't zoom down a hill on a car and then brake at the bottom. You brake continually all the way down the hill so you don't get into a mess at the bottom. And that's how you have to think with riding. You have to constantly be asking the horse to be on the bit and enjoying the milliseconds that he stays there. But the minute, and you've also got to understand, him coming above the bit is him trying to go crooked. It's not actually a contact issue, it's a straightness issue. And that's because he's not listening to my inside leg and he's not going where I want him to go. So I trust that helps. I trust that's given you a little bit more of an insight to go, I really do need to break down what my strategy is to get a horse on the bit. I might need to speak to a coach to make sure that my strategy is on song. And then how often do you apply the strategy? Like I always used to go, okay, my horse is on the bit. I'll just do nothing now and think about pizza and do, and then be like, oh, what's wrong with my horse? You're there every stride to get that horse more through, more connected, more with you. And the more you do that, the better it gets. And then when you do something like go into canter, again, you just ride every stride to make sure it's where you need to go. Sorry, Arba's 16, he thinks he's old. Good boy. So I trust that helps. I trust that gives you a little bit more insight into how to get the horse on the bit. And remember, if there's anything else you need, check out dressagemastery.com. There's heaps of free videos and a Dressage Mastery program if you're ready to take the next step in your riding. Have a super week and I'll see you next time. Bye.